Hello and welcome to another session of Karen's Colours. I'm Dr. Karen and these are my colour conversations. It's that time of the month again where we look at the colour readings for each birthday for the following month, and we're almost heading towards the end of the year at a great pace. It's coming up to November. So how has your October gone? Did you use your colours? Mine for October were cyan on grey. And yes, I have been using them. And it's interesting that they've actually resolved a dilemma for me. The grey was all about uncertainty, confusion. And what were those about? Well, basically, it was whether or not I would continue to do these sessions. Mainly because they take such a long time to both read and also edit, but also because there hasn't been a great deal of online engagement with them. Nevertheless, the cyan says, wait. And so I did. And out of the blue, so to speak, came a private message from someone who had been invited by a subscriber to have a look and to consider and to give some feedback. I received that feedback on my channel's Gmail account. I'll put a link to that down in the show notes below, in case you would prefer to talk to me privately rather than engage on a public forum. Nevertheless, it was very heartening, and so here I am once again. I hope that you too have been using your colours if you are so inclined, and that perhaps it has made a difference to the way in which you would normally respond to situations in your everyday life. If you have, please let me know, because I'd be interested to find out just how accurate a lot of these readings are. They certainly are exceptionally accurate when someone is choosing their own colours, but these are general readings, and so not everything will resonate for every person, and I'd like to know just how close those resonations might be, if at all. So what are we going to do this time? Well, the oracle I've chosen for this session is the Medicine Woman Oracle. It's primarily feminine, but then so is cyan. And hopefully it will have some messages for you that will be of benefit as we go through the process. So, August people, how is your November 2025 likely to travel? Let's firstly choose an oracle card. And we'll put that one down under there. And now I want a colour reading for people born in the month of August to see how they will fare in November 2025. Oops. Okay. And now we start the month with green on cyan. We continue with pink on red. And we finish it with red on orange. And the underlying energy is brown on red. Now, what is most obvious here is that we have one colour that's repeated 3 times. It appears as the need or drive throughout the majority of the month. It appears as the action taken at the end of the month. And it also appears as the need or drive for the underlying energy that will influence the entirety of your month. So let's have a look at this underlying energy. Brown on red. Red is a feeling of disquiet,
It's you're jumping out of your skin. You've got so much energy, so much drive, so much desire to do something that you really feel agitated. In the real world, there are lots of tasks to be accomplished. You've set yourself some goals. You've given yourself some aspirations, some ambitions that you want to attain. And there are the skills available to you in order to do those things. But maybe because of this frustration internally, you've actually given yourself too many things to do. You are too busy, too much drive, too much heading in all sorts of different directions. This looks like a fabulous idea. Let's get on and do that. Oh, no, that one looks like an even better idea. Let's go to that. Oh, there's another one that I would really like to try. This is like a person who has 50,000 different projects in the marketplace all at the same time. And because of the frustration, there is a good chance that you really don't know where to start. Let's have a look at what happens when you come into the month. Because this here is the calmest of all of the cards in this reading. We have green over cyan. Cyan is a feeling of needing bliss, needing contentment, needing quiet. Everything that you have created in your life beforehand is one of wanting to just have things settle and be comfortable. In the real world, there's lots of different opportunities. There are all sorts of ideas and aspirations that you have, values that you'd like to see expanded into something worthwhile. There are green pastures everywhere you look. But the green and the cyan don't actually allow you for much movement. The cyan says you're happy where you are. You should be content with where you are and what you're doing. But because it's a driver, it means that you're looking for more happiness, more contentment, more bliss. And in the real world, all of the opportunities that are out there, maybe you're looking for a new job, they are so much more enticing than what it is that you have at the moment. So what are you going to do about it? Well, if we look at what the underlying energy is here, we can have green and brown together, opportunities and motivations, ambitions, practical skills. I have learned so much. The opportunities are there. I have all the skills. Maybe I should jump and do something different. On the other hand, internally, you have cyan and red. Now, these are true opposites on the color wheel. I'm happy where I am, but I'm frustrated with restrictions. I feel restricted despite the fact that everything is peaceful. On the other hand, you could have red on green. So we'll try it the other way, shall we? Green on red. Now, red is frustration, green is seeking for new pastures. While things appear as though you have everything you need, everything you want, in fact, you aren't 100% happy with your life. On the other hand, you could have brown over cyan. The need to keep things stable comes across as I have the skills, I have my goals, there are things that need to be done, and I can attain what it is that I have set out to do. By the middle of the month, that frustration, that internal jumping out of your skin energy has intensified. But now you're feeling stuck. Pink in the real world is all about having no energy to do anything except succumb to whatever is around here. Now, this is an interesting combination because pink and red generally has to do with pregnancy. Now, that could be pregnancy of a real child. It could actually also be a new project that you suddenly have got your eye on. And that wouldn't be surprising because back here, you're looking for opportunities because they are there everywhere. You can see them, you can feel them, you can touch them. You can almost taste them. Here, the opportunities are there and you have jumped on one. Now you need it to bear fruit. You have a baby in the real world that you are very protective of in the internal world. If we take these colors and put them together, pink and brown together is that project. You've got ambitions, you've got skills that you've acquired, and you also love what it is that you are doing. Red and red, on the other hand, as the internal world, continues that frustration. Yes, I like what I'm doing. Yes, I'm having a wonderful time. Yes, I know exactly what I have to do and how to do it. And I'm possibly even a leader in what it is that you're doing. But internally, it hasn't actually made you feel settled. If anything, you're feeling more agitated, more energetic. You have more to give than you are currently giving. By the time you get to the end of the month, that red energy that was under here as a driver now has become an activator. You're actually doing it. Here, orange internally means that suddenly something has come up that has made you feel like there's a crisis. Perhaps you need to make some major change that you have to survive, regardless of what the issue is. And in the real world, that's it. Made up your mind, you're going to go and do whatever it is. You are taking charge. You're taking not just responsibility, but you are the boss of whatever it is that has created this crisis feeling internally. And red and orange together are always a little dangerous because they are asking you to be careful. Red in the real world often has to do with impulsiveness. So if there is a crisis, are you going to just simply grab the first remedy, or are you going to think about it a bit? If we look at how the underlying energy impinges upon this, we get an even more potentially dangerous view. Red and brown together is being impulsive about the goals that you have chosen to follow, to chase. Perhaps even you have spilt some blood in doing whatever it is that you've decided suddenly is going to be the job that is right for you. And internally, the orange and red together are that impulsiveness and the need to survive, the confidence that you need, which gives you the same drama that you had here. On the other hand, we could also go with brown over orange. I need to feel as though I have an ability to get over whatever the issue is that is causing me to feel discombobulated in some way. And in the real world, the way to overcome this is to get stuck into whatever the projects are that I'm currently dealing with and to get on with doing those, learn new skills, continue to function in a way that shows I am in charge of my own ambitions. But here is the warning. Red over red says stop. Think carefully, because red on red is impulsive chasing of whatever floats your boat at the moment. And that may not necessarily be what you need in order to create the satisfaction that you had at the beginning of the month. Red on red says stop, wait, consider. But will you do so? It's unlikely. Orange agitates. Brown beckons you to higher goals. Red simply says, right, that's it. Had enough of that. I'm going off to do something different. Maybe you will just change your job. Maybe you will do so impulsively. I certainly hope it works for you. Let's have a look at the colours that are missing. There's no black. There's no white. You have more than enough red, but there's no yellow. You have green. There's no blue. There's brown. There's orange. There's no grey or purple, but you do have pink and you have cyan. So what we have here in these 6 colours are the skills that you're currently not using. And if we look at them in comparison to the ones that you have here, apart from the yellow, they're all fairly muted. So these are more calming than this reading would suggest. But you're feeling agitated. So what can you do to overcome that? Look at those 6 colours. Which is the most appealing colour and which is the least appealing? Black has to do with withdrawal, taking time out, contemplating your options. White has to do with discovery of new things, curiosity, but also a flash of enlightenment. Yellow has to do with obtaining information and digesting it carefully, thinking. Blue has to do with governance of yourself, to create stability, to do your duty, to simply allow things to be comprehended and understood. Grey is all about confusion and uncertainty, but it's also about finding a middle road and discovering just what the reality of the situation is before you do anything about it. And purple is all about being able to create harmony and health and fixing things. But first, it requires you to break them before you can go ahead and create change. So of these, the most appealing colour and the least appealing colour, if you include those into your life, will actually allow the others to also take effect. And maybe, just maybe, you can avoid this impulsivity that seems to be guiding you throughout the month and specifically causing you to do something that is probably quite rash towards the end of it. Think about it carefully. Let's just see what the Oracle has to say on the topic. It says, self-knowledge. Dive into your depths where your truth resides. That, my friends, my August people, is black and white. Truth and the depths, and together they form grey. Perhaps there's a hint there. Wow, well, some of that was pretty intense, wasn't it? I hope you're finding something useful out of these colour readings. And if you're watching them and don't really want to comment online on the open forum, feel free to send me a message through the Gmail account that's attached to this channel. I'll be more than happy to interact with you. In the meantime, may the colours of your life bring you joy and happiness and all of the things that you desire. We're coming up to Christmas soon. That'll be the next time. See you.